Hi everyone, welcome. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you, and if you're my previous subscribers, welcome. I'm so happy to have you back. You guys have not checked out my previous video where I talked about you guys getting a free reading and joining in as my test subject or people participants. I highly recommend you join it. It's a great way to not only get to know me, you're a YouTuber, and also you get to be able to talk to other people within our community, and you get free reading. So there's that. Go check that video out. For today, we're going to be talking about the mysterious disease that's found in the White House. I'll be going through it one by one. I'm going to be giving you a little bit of information on that. Then we're going to begin, okay? All right, so today is May 22nd, 2021 at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys are interested and you do like my speedy tarot under a minute, just let me know in the comment section below of this video. If you guys are interested in booking a reading with me, you know where everything is. It's in the description. And here are some disclaimers. This is just for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only. YouTube, okay, I'm not a medical doctor or medical license. And here are some more disclaimers as you see on your screen right now. Right before we do some tarot, I am going to give you a little information. But if you have not and you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and like this video. It's going to do so much help to me in the future, and especially when I'm expanding the channel. I can clearly see on your screen right now, only YouTube is only recommending my content 32.8% of the time. Or my posts, only 32.8% of them get recommended to you. So by liking, commenting, and engaging in any of my posts, it is going to help raise the more likelihood that we're able to grow our community. So if you could do that, thank you so much. If not, I completely understand. So moving on, we have the U.S. investigation into the second suspected case of mysterious, quote, syndrome disease near the White House. This is called the Havana syndrome, and we're going to be reading on that today. I had a very strong feeling about this a long time ago. I always knew that something like this was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. Just when was the answer, not why it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when at this point. And it seems to be that this was happening around the time that Donald Trump was going into office. And so it was quite interesting to see that this came up because I talked about this plenty of times on my channel, believe it or not. Like I always say to you guys, my channel is, when I cover a certain topic on my channel, it always seems to be pointing towards the future a couple of months ahead of time before it goes into the news cycle. In this case, this, right? So I talked about, will this be our last pandemic? This very well could not be our last pandemic. And I talked about chemical warfare and stuff like that. So definitely recommend go back to watch my other videos. You're going to start to see some Easter eggs that my guys were giving me to do content like that. So you may not understand it. Even I may not understand at the time of why I'm doing a specific reading on that, on a specific topic. But as months go on, even days, you start to get better and more understanding. So I can see that. I don't know what just happened, but this just clearly stopped working. Okay, so I was recently watching a TV show called Designated Survivor, and it was so mind-blowing because I was like, what? I'm going to go over this. I'm going to do a separate video on the TV show because my guys, when I was in recovery, I got so much information, and my guys were making me watch tons of different shows from like The Man in the High Castle to this, Designated Survivor. And a lot of things had happened in the show, at least rhetorically or sometimes literally. In this case, it talked about a pandemic in 2017, and this is the U.S. having a pandemic outbreak of just around the time that China, 2 years later, will end up having their very first case of COVID. Then we also have here, as well as we have the Capitol bombing, the bombing of the U.S. Capitol. And we have here the destruction of the U.S. Capitol. So now I do see in the future that we will end up in a scenario where something like this could very well become our new possibility, which is why I say Biden's presidency will closely mirror the one of Donald Trump's. So just please keep that in mind as well. Now, don't be scared. Things are supposed to happen the way they are, and we don't understand why they happen, but they happen. Okay? So don't feel worried or anything like that. Hi, Flora. Hi, Clarence. Hi, Sydney. Hi, Shine. Hi, Meal. What's up, love? Hi, Renee. Hi, guys. I'm good right now. I'm actually finally not in a brace, so I'm actually out of my brace now. So yay! I can't move my arm as much, but it has been great. So surgery has done wonderfully, and so there's that. But we're going to move on because I do not want to waste your time. I want to give you information about the virus, and so you don't have to read the article. But I do put it in the description for you in case you are interested. If you're tired of listening to me and you're watching this on replay, just go to the description. I have the timestamp for the actual reading. You guys just jump ahead. All right, so this is, by the way, from CNN article that I listed in the description. It said 2 White House officials were struck by a mysterious illness late last year, affected 2 officials on National Security Council in November 2020, one day after the presidential election, and one several weeks later. The cases are consistent with inexplicable constellation of sensory experiences and physical symptoms that have. By the way, I just saw 555 when I was reading this. The symptoms that have sickened more than 100 U.S. diplomats, spies, and troops around the globe who have come to known as the Havana Syndrome. The intelligence community still isn't sure who is causing the strange ray of nervous system symptoms, or if they can be definitely determined, quote, attacks. Even the technology that might cause such an inconsistent set of symptoms is a matter of debate. So basically, I put in biowarfare because they're saying who. They're not asking the question, is this a national virus? What they're asking is this biowarfare, which I've talked about plenty of times on the channel. If you are new here, then I don't blame you for not watching it. But if you have not, if you remember and you watched the show, you don't have to watch all my videos. But if you have watched it, you may have remembered I talked about biowarfare. So, as well, I want to move on. Some have experienced mild symptoms after the encounter, including headache and sleeplessness, all of which went away a week after a week, or some suffered more severe, serious symptoms and was ill enough to seek immediate medical treatment for 5 years. Investigators have struggled to explain the strange experiences reported by U.S. diplomats and other government workers in Cuba, Russia, China, and elsewhere. Episodes that in some cases have led to chronic headache and brain injuries. Victim has reported experiencing sudden vertigo, headache, high pressure, sometimes accompanied by a piercing directional note. Some reported being able to escape the symptoms simply by moving to another room and step back into them by returning to the original position. So basically, like they'll leave the room, then they're like wobbly getting out of the room, and then they go back, and then it's gone, really. So, it's quite interesting. I do believe, and I will say this is my gut, and I have to tell you this because we can start doing tomorrow now, but I do personally feel on this very strong level. Now, I'm not a medical expert, but what I honestly did feel that it was a biowarfare or something like that, an attack on the U.S., but also globally. I do feel like it's more racially targeted towards a certain demographic. So we're going to do some readings on that and see everything that we need to know about this. And it's just the next pen. All right, so let's do the reading. All right, so first thing I want to look at here is I want to look at if it targets a certain demographic. Because that's important, right? Because the thing that I always been very fearful about, specifically me, is having to worry about and knowing that people are out there who have the intent to harm people based on something that they cannot control. Not that you should be hurting or injuring someone just because someone does and can control it. Being black or being Latino or being Asian is not something that you can control, and that people hate you for that is very detrimental, and it makes me very upset. And so I do feel like, in some degree, that this is a virus that is mutated in a way to target certain demographics. But let's just see. Let's act the cards, okay? Like I said, I don't put my opinion into the cards. I could very well be wrong, but the reason why I tell you is just so you know my intent going in. Okay, but I always lead it independently. So spirits and angels tell me in any way if this coronavirus targeted to a certain demographic. Okay, it just targeted to a certain demographic. Let me show you guys so you guys can see this. For entertainment purposes only. It is targeted towards the same demographic, Spirit Angels. Tell me. Is the Cabana virus targeted to a certain demographic? I have a feeling the Cuban flag is going to come out, and that's what's going to scare me. Because they have a city named Cabana. Okay. Spirits and Angels, is there anything else that you'd like to know? Okay. What's in here? Interesting. Okay. One more? Okay, give me 2 more. Oh, I don't even know what this country is. Okay. If you guys know what this one is, let me know. I feel like it might be an African nation, but not sure. It does feel like it is targeted towards people with Middle Eastern, Serbian demographic. So if you are with one of those, if you were Italian, British, or again part of the former Austrian-Hungary Empire, you're definitely a target. I feel like this might be something designed like the Soviets. Because we do have here, as well as we have this flag, which I don't know what this is, so I can't really comment on this one. But we do have here Switzerland. I do feel like it's targeted towards Caucasians as well. Which is ironic, because it's always targeting a different demographic, but we can see. We have here Sweden again, and we have Monaco. I don't know what Monaco is heavily in terms of demographic-wise, but I do know Sweden is mostly heavily European. And if you look at here, Slovakia, we have here 46. So I guess that might be a sign because of Biden is 46. All right, so we're going to be playing Guess Who and see if it targets certain women. Please also keep in mind that it may not target, and there has been reports of viruses and diseases that may be chemical warfare. Please also keep in mind that if you do get sick or someone you know gets sick, there's a high potentiality and a high chance that they could not want to kill you, as it is a crime. What they may end up doing, they may create a virus that makes a certain person infertile based on their own demographic, so that they can end up in a scenario where their race ends up dying out because the people there are infertile. And I'll talk about this again. I'll talk about the sperm count in the United States and worldwide dropping, and why that might be very significant going forward. Because it's just weird that it never happened in the U.S. or worldwide, and now suddenly men are losing sperm count. All right, so I did see 1414 on the screen, so if someone could tell me what angel number that is, along with 555. So Spirits and Angels, tell me about this disease. What do we need to know about this Havana syndrome? Is it targeted a certain demographic, gender? What do we need to know? Okay, that is way too many, so I'm going to put that back. Spirits and Angels, tell me certain demographic, or is targeted a certain demographic? Is this a racist? Is this a chemical biowarfare? What is this? And now I'm trying to explore many different questions, guys, so I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but please keep in mind that we don't know what this virus is, and this could very well be a targeted virus. But we're also going to keep up the opportunity that it may just become a natural one as well. Spirits and Angels, tell me what kind of syndrome is this? What is this? What's going on? Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, exactly what I thought. So what it's doing here, it is targeting African Americans, people with African descendants to some degree. We have, or high melatonin. We have people who are Muslim or Middle Eastern, and then we have here people who have more Nordic type DNA. So it does feel like there are some demographics here. I don't know who or what this is. I don't know what this is, because we have blue, red, and then we have 2 yellow here as well. Interesting. All right, I got me here, the health thing. I knew it was coming, guys. I told you. My guys prepared me so much ahead of time. So I bought this, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to need this for one day. And now we're going to need it. So it is, what this is basically, it's a health deck that helps me be able to determine what kind of outcome, what kind of medical issue, what kind of problem that you might need to focus on in terms of your health. But in this case, let's see what way this virus can affect the human body, right? So Spirits and Angels, tell me, with the Havana syndrome, how does this affect the human body? Thank you, love. That's for those of you guys who have been seeing 555. All right, so Spirit Angel, tell me, what message do you have about, the virus or this syndrome? What is this? What's going on? Is this a nervous syndrome? Okay, that's weird. Okay. I think we know how it goes in. Is there anything else that we need to know specifically about the Havana syndrome? Sorry, I'm like a little too far away from the table. Is there anything else? We got a beard, but maybe it's targeted for men as well. Could be. All right, so what I'm seeing here is that this syndrome goes through your eyes. So it must be some sort of chemical spray. It could be a chemical spray, could be water droplets, and could be air. So if you are trying to protect yourself, I would advise you to get like goggles or something like that protects your eyes. Because it does feel like the way that it goes in is through your eyelids or your eyes. Okay, so if you're trying to figure out how to protect yourself, protect your eyes. And of course, wear a mask. Okay, that is just basic at this point. All right, so what I'm seeing here, I don't really feel like a sense that it might be not racially targeted. I don't feel it. I don't know what you guys think. We're going to do some more reading on this as well. I'm going to do some regular tarot reading on this, and let's just get more in-depth reading on this. I'm just going to clear out the table a bit. So just bear with me for a moment. Okay. All right. Okay. Spirit Angel, tell me, what messages do we need to know about this Havana syndrome? Okay. Ooh, yike. What do we need to know about this Havana syndrome? Okay, that's a weird card to get with this. Is this... Yeah, okay, so what do we need to know? Let's just go with one question first. What do we need to know about this Havana syndrome? Okay. Okay, I didn't go here, right? I think that's how I did it. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and then final outcome card. Okay, that's not good. All right, let me put this here. Oh, look what card just fell right on here. I would definitely certainly tell you right now, I do think the Republican Party is involved in some form or way. For those of you guys who have been seeing 1414 or 14, 14 leans on the angel to help you maintain positivity. It will keep you bright and optimistic. When I voted in the 2020 presidential election, my ballot number was 141414. Yeah, just so you know that. Okay, so let's do this reading now. We have here 6 of stories. And so it tells us that we're leaving the pandemic, right? I said this. We're going to be leaving the pandemic. We've been badly damaged. However, in a matter of time, it talks about the Republican Party and their involvement. Right? This happened to land on this card. I didn't plan this thing to land on it. We have here the Wheel of Fortune. So there is a matter of time before this thing does get out. So I do feel like this is going to be going public. And I feel like the first place it's going to go to is the school. So if you have anybody, you've been around somebody who goes to school, I highly advise you to be more cautious of those type of people, okay? We have here, as first, a lot of these people are going to be asymptomatic. So they're going to come off very strong, like they're fine. Like, oh, I just had a cold. They're just being worried about it because of COVID, blah, blah, blah. Do not listen to those people because they are lying to you consciously, but subconsciously. Trust your intuition is basically telling you that these people are actually ill. And I do feel like this thing does exist because I've been talking to people and we've been talking about the same exact symptoms, including me, myself, and it seemed to be very similar to the one that were listed here. We have here the page of stories. So talking about this demographic, it's going to be targeted towards young people, my generation specifically. So if you are a lot older, do not worry. You are fine for now. We have here the devil in reverse, which tells me that this fire was supposed to be contained in some way, but becoming more mainstream, more public, more worldwide, more spread. So there is something else coming. You see the change here? The masculine and feminine, it was chained up. They had it under control, but now it's becoming uncontrollable at the point where it's going to become the next Black Plague. We have here as well, we have the King of Wands, which actually, funny enough, it's funny, really, but it's also not funny because it's actually scary. Okay, so we have Justice card, right? Let me show you. So we have the Justice card on top of the Wheel of Fortune, right? Then we have the card, the Devil, that will normally represent Donald Trump, right? And I said this represents the Republican Party. Well, guess what falls underneath this? The King of Wands, but it's in reverse. And a lot of you guys know this is my Mike Pence card. But in this case, it's a conservative ideology, but this is the person incumbent on the throne. This is the incumbent on the throne, the one that incumbents out of office, who's no longer on the throne, which basically means that he's talking about Donald Trump's presidency after. He's talking about the presidency after Donald Trump, which tells me here that Donald Trump may have sped up the process. This may be a plan by Trump as well. It does feel like there is some correlation here. I don't know if it's like a plan that he wanted to happen to make him look like he was the better guy and that he had control over this. I don't know what the initial plan is here. No, this is just for entertainment purposes only. And we have here the Nine of Swords. I do feel like this was something that wasn't supposed to happen yet. But I feel like this is also Joe Biden. It's giving me Joe Biden's energy here, which is odd because Joe Biden, this is not Joe Biden's card. But in this case, I'm feeling Joe Biden that he's so stressed out about everything that happened that this is not another thing that he wanted to handle for the country. We do have here the Seven of Pentacles. The economy is improving, but this might be very detrimental as well. And we have here, this is talking about the future. Right? This is the past. This is the former president, right? The former administration talking about the future. And what this tells me here is that it's talking about Joe Biden's presidency. And we have the Two of Swords, the Five of Swords here. Two people walking away, another one staying in. It's really all about right now is whether or not they're going to be able to solve everything that's going on before everything goes to hit the fan. Thank you, Kay. Yes, I am healing. Thank you. What I am going to be doing now is I'm going to ask, now we know a little bit about the virus, what it does, how it goes into your body, and stuff like that. I want to ask the cards now, is this a bio warfare? Is this a bio attack? Is this an attack on certain countries, certain demographics? Because this is not just happening in Russia, it's happening in China, Europe, the US, Australia, all these countries. So it is worldwide. It's not just something that only a phenomenon happening in the US. So let's take a look. Spirit Angels, tell me about this. What is it that we need to know about this Havana syndrome? Is this only happening in the US? Excuse me, we know it's not happening in the US. Is this an attack on countries? Is this an attack? What is this virus? What is it? Okay, I hear an attack, but I think that's my ego, so I'm going to ignore it. Okay, this card comes out again. Okay, I heard the plague is coming. Interesting. Spirits and angels, tell me what else do we need to know about that? Okay, one more. Okay, so we have 3 cards here that came out in the previous reading, come out again. Okay, then we have here the Knight of Wands. This is the Trump leaving card. Trump leaves. I did say, if you watch my minute video, I did say that Donald Trump was going to experience a crisis again because he didn't take the vaccine that we were told that he took. So basically saying he didn't take the vaccine that are out now. He took another vaccine for another virus. And that he's going to get screwed in the butt later. Okay. All right, so we have the Page of Swords, right? So basically what it's telling me here, that again, I acted as an attack, and is this an attack, Spirits and Angels? All right, so they say it's not an attack, but it is war. Okay, I don't know what that means because if it is an attack, it necessarily means war. But okay, it's just nature. They said it was nature until it was manipulated. Okay, we have here the devil in reverse. So I don't feel like there is a madman here. I don't feel like there was somebody here that was trying to manipulate the virus initially, even though that's what my guy said. I feel like I get him pulled to the ice caps. Or something with the ice caps here melting and like maybe like a virus from the ice cap coming back to life and becoming a brand new virus that none of us have ever experienced before as human. I do feel like that is where it's coming from. So it's basically a manipulation in a way that we are speeding up the process of global warming, but we really necessarily didn't manipulate it because I don't sense a madman or a mad scientist here. We have here the Queen of Cups, which is kind of like the Democratic Party card, and it's reversed. What tells me the Democrats know about it, but they don't know how to go about it. Like, how do you tell the public, oh, we're going out of pandemic, we're going out of COVID. Oh, but by the way, we have to stay indoors now because a new virus is on the horizon. So I don't know how that will play out, especially with the Republicans. We have the Knight of Pentacles. It does feel like we're all going to go in lockdown again. We are going to go into lockdown. I did say we're going to experience 4 lockdowns. This could be another lockdown. It's like the entire country goes to a halt. Like everybody stays indoors because the virus is not like the COVID virus. It's like different. Like you get it. Like you're like almost like you're out. Almost. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Well, tell me this is divine. Like this is supposed to happen. This was something in the works. So this could be like a plan. It could be like a plan by government. Could be something that was initially planned. That it could be planned by our guides or spirit guides to help us go into a more spiritual awakening because we're not waking up fast enough. Could be one of those scenarios. Or it could be that the government is retaliating against the people for waking. And that is the way they're doing it. Because what's it called? Recently, a lot of us who upload like videos, like luckily on YouTube we don't get restricted as much as you do on other websites. So, for example, I was doing like a social media called TikTok, and us tarot readers and psychics, we're not allowed to say the word ascension. Otherwise, we basically get banned from the platform for saying ascension because they don't want us to raise awareness about the awakening, so they ban us from saying the word awakening. Like it's really like a centered word. So they are centering us. So just please also keep that in mind that there are many possibilities that could be going out right now. Just please know that all of us are being centered in some form or way. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, just read between the lines. If you feel something, but we can't physically say it, but you understand it, and your intuition is telling you, listen to your intuition. All right. Thank you, Dina. Nice to see you, Diva. Okay, so we have here as well, we have the Knight of Wands. I do feel like, again, people are escaping, and I feel like they're just scared of this virus. They're, like, scared. Like, they don't know how to go about this, and I do feel like they are scared. What other question do I have to ask about this? I'm going to ask about lockdown. Let me see. Will this become, like, a new pandemic type thing? It could be even an epidemic, but an epidemic, I think, is smaller than a pandemic. Could be wrong. Not sure. Let's see. I want to keep this video short, but if you guys do have questions, feel free to put it in. If you want me to make a part 2 to this video, I'm more than happy to do that, and I can make it more informative. Spirit saying, so tell me, what other information do we need to know about this virus? Are we going to experience another lockdown? Can you give me a yes, no, maybe so? I don't know. Okay, so we already have 3 lockdowns. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, why these this card keep coming up? So this card keeps coming up again and again and again. You guys seen this, right? We have here the Page of Cups. So just talking about the Democratic Party here. Something with the Democrats. I do feel like there is an imposter within the Democratic Party who might try to hurt Biden as well. So we have here the 3 of Wands with the triangle. And I'm getting the sense here that is coming from overseas, and that the country is going to be on lockdown so much so that nobody's going to want to go into the U.S. Like, that's how bad the outbreak is going to be. Right, you can see the chips leaving. Like, we're here, but like we're all by ourselves. And it does feel like, in a way, that we will have another lockdown. Let me just get more of a definitive answer. Okay, so the bottom of the deck here, we have death. So you can clearly see like the death of a king, right, being trampled. And so this is quite interesting to see how that will be. Yeah, it could be Joe Manchin. I did say, and I was so shocked, even though like I was psychic, but sometimes I forget that I am. Like I did in my reading a long time ago, and like I was with Kim, and I said that the two Democrats that are going to really ruin it for Biden are Kristen Sinema and Joe Biden. I mean, not Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin. And oh boy, was I spot on. It wasn't even like the two people who won in John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. It wasn't even those. It was just those two senators that I said, and I was spot on, and even I was like shocked. But anyway, Spirit saying, so Tommy, can you give me a definitive? Can you give me a definitive answer? Are we actually going to be on another lockdown? But this virus put us in another lockdown? Yes or no? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Maybe so. You just tell me so I know. Ooh, that rhymes. I could be a rapper. Okay, so we have here a cup, not a cup. It's all about the ignorance. I do feel like there is ignorance here. It's whether or not the Republican Party wants to cooperate with the Democrats. It's all about whether or not the Republican Party wants to cooperate. And if they do, the Democrats might come out. Because if the Democrats aren't able to bring the Republican Party to the table, it's going to show that the Republicans don't care about people's lives, and it's going to put the Democratic Party ahead. But you also need to realize that you don't want people to die at the expense of your own political agenda. Okay? So just make sure, don't be very ignorant, okay? Because it's going to bite you in the butt. So we also have here as well as we have the Fool card, and it's in reverse. Which means that, you know, you can see here, we're at the low point right now. It's going to go up. It's going to go up. Okay, so we have to do as a group and collective is that we need to protect and get to know ourselves and get to know who we were in the womb. Get to know our past life, because the way that we're going to be able to move forward is that we need to understand who we were. And that's quite interesting, to say the least. And I don't get a definitive answer whether or not we're going to be in lockdown. I do feel like, again, the Republican Party is pushing, right? Because we have here the King of Swords, and this is the incumbent. We're telling me that there's going to be something going on with the incumbent. Biden might not. Biden might just do the. He might accidentally or temporarily invoke the 25th Amendment as well. It does feel like there might be some case or scenario where he is going to be incapacitated for at least a short while. Maybe he might be in the hospital. But he'll be fine. He will be president. But it does feel like, you know, to some degree, it does feel like as if Biden will be there, but also may not be. So it's quite interesting to see how this is. It might be a bit Kamala Harris being in charge. Is there anything else that we need to know about this potential virus? It had to come from the ice caps. Did this come from the ice caps, Spirits and Angels, Tommy? Did this come from the ice caps? Okay. Okay, so these cards keep coming up for some reason. Weird. There's like this reading is making me so uncomfortable. I'm just like, okay. So we have here. Okay, that's like a yes and a no. We have here, so I asked if this virus comes from the ice cap, or like the you know, enclosed in ice cap because it's frozen and it's been defrosted due to global warming. We have here the Knight of Pentacles. In the past, it's been slapped, right? When you freeze something, it's no longer liquidating, it becomes solid, right? We have here the Page of Cups. It's an opportunity. And look, so something that was supposed to be in the water, something that doesn't survive in the cup normally, but because it's been in an area where it's normally been so defrosted that it's been hibernating in hibernation mode. But it does feel like, yeah, it is a possibility that it came from the ice caps. Right, because it's the facts. This is all about the hospital COVID. This is actually the COVID card. So this could be how COVID came about as well. It did your ice cap and global warming. That's what causes COVID-19 as well. At least the first initial virus. And we do have to the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, which tell me there could be global warming, but we're not necessarily sure. Again, we have this card again, the Page of Swords. So I don't know what is going on with that card, because that card keeps showing up the most. And besides the Devil, which is oddly enough is strange, because I never have gotten these since Donald Trump was in office. So I would not be surprised if this was a stunt pulled by Republicans as well. Spirits and Angels tell me, is this Havana syndrome, is this a nerve agent? The light that we saw that the American people used during the Vietnam War called Orange Agent? Is this a nerve agent? Okay. Interesting. Oh, I'm getting mixed signals. I'm getting yes, I know. There must be some sort of mutation. I don't know, guys. You can let me know what you guys think, because I'm quite curious. Maybe you guys, if you read on this, let me know what you get in the comment section below, or email me as well. Just saw 3838. We have here the Empress in reverse here. This is normally my nature card, right? I don't feel like it's Russia. I do feel like, again, it does feel like there might be a manipulation of some sort. Like I said, it's like nature, it came from nature, but then it was manipulated in some form or way. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it is a mysterious virus that we never encountered. We have here the Two of Wands. I'm trying to stay unbiased here, so please understand. We have the Two of Wands, which tell me it comes from an outside world, which could potentially be the virus that comes from an outside planet, like an other planet as well. It could be like almost like smallpox coming from the Europe to the Americas when the Europeans started colonizing. We have here Ten of Pentacles. We have here, this was funded, this was heavily funded. I don't know what this is. Potentially it could mean that they were funding a vaccine of some sort. It could be there's some funding and backed by someone who was mad. I wanted to take the anger out on the world. It could be someone trying to stop it. We do have here the Wands, here the Six of Wands in reverse. These are the victory card in reverse. Well, tell me they were not victorious in trying to be successful in stopping this. We do have here the FBI or the agent. They have the supplement. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, so what ended up happening, I feel like this was in a scientific lab or some sort. It was in an enclosed space. But then something happened and it must have been broken into or something like that. And what ended up happening is they took this virus that was supposed to be enclosed in like this ice castle, and they took that out and they stole it, and then they started spreading it, because as you see here, right, someone who was victorious and being successful in whether or not how they created this virus. But then the card that comes here is not a cup, which is normally my Biden card, but you can see this person going that way. The winner's going that way normally, but it's necessarily in this case the loser. And we have here the Knight of Cups taking the ingredients and walking away with them. So I think what ends up happening is how this got on the radar with the fact that someone stole a medical device, and I feel like they took like genes and they manipulated it to make something else. I don't know, something like that. I'm not scientific. Okay, take it as you can. Just let me know what you think. We have here the Four of Wands, which tells me Biden won't get it, at least not right now. So there's that. That's what I'm getting. It's quite interesting. I did see when I was reading, they just say something with microwave or ultrasonic waves. I could read on this. Interesting, Kay. Interesting. Okay, so I want to speak about the microwave and the ultrasonic wave. There's been recent reports coming out from Earth and then testing the vibration of Earth. Now, like I said, the vibration of Earth is vibrating on a higher level, and therefore, when you vibrate at a higher level, there needs to be input a large, massive amount of energetic energy entering into our atmosphere, right? That's how we ascend in terms of our consciousness. But you also need to be aware that there are other, like, you know, people who are not so kind. Like, okay, so for example, I don't really want to say the name, but they're all around us. So I'm trying to, I don't want to summon them, but they kind of look like dinosaurs, like those type of people. You know, we have the Palladians, we have all of them, but the Palladians vibrate on a high level. So do angels, right? Aliens, you know, stuff like that. You know, part of it could very well be that the microwave thing is that when you raise in higher vibrations, you become immune to these type of microwave or also sonic wave because you are ascending to the higher consciousness, the higher realm. But people who aren't that's put well put, like, okay, excuse me. So people who aren't like able to extend, or people who are not supposed to extend because they're not good people or not good species, or they only meant to stay in the 3D, will end up experiencing something like this as well. So let me just ask and kind of see what else do we need to know about this. Okay, spirits and angels. Okay. Spirits and angels, tell me about this 5G. Is it 5G? Is it microwave? Is it ultrasonic waves? Is it the higher realms of consciousness? What is going on with this thing? I keep saying it's a virus, but I don't know what this is. Okay. All right, is the Havana syndrome related to an awakening of a higher consciousness? Is this what this is? Is this all about the Ascension Project? Okay, we have death. Okay. All right, so we have here judgment, and automatically I knew this meant extension. So I could first see here, I'll go over them quickly, but we have here the judgment card, and this is talking about extension, going to the higher realm of consciousness. So this is what's really going on here. I do feel like, again, it does feel like this is something that was meant to happen. Like, you guys and our guys want us to undergo this experience to some degree to put us in the right path, the right where we're supposed to be, who we are meant to be. I don't feel like a lot of us will be affected, so don't feel very scared or worried. I do feel like it is and does have some abilities like that. It does feel like it's the 10 of Wands, and it's in reverse, which tells me that a lot of us will not struggle because we're undergoing this right now, this high vibrational frequency that shocks the earth and raises our vibrations, right? So a solar flare hitting earth will put so much energy that will plunge us right into the 5D. So, you know, even though it's a natural disaster because it's a solar flare, comes from the sun bursting energetically into the galactic magnetic field of Earth, and it's energizing it, raising the vibration. We do have here as well, we do have the Ace of Wands. And what this is telling me, that it almost feels like it was a gift from God. Almost like a gift from nature. Not necessarily God, like not like God. This is not the rapture. But it does feel like a death. This is telling you that it's time. The time has come, basically. And I'll talk about this again on another video. I'm going to talk about this because I'm going to talk about how there are many Adam and Eves. And a lot of you guys think there's only one. But no, there's actually 7. There will be 7 Adam and Eves. Same thing. There will be 7 Jesuses. Same thing. 7 devils and stuff like that. There's always something with the number 7. I don't know what it is with 7, but 7 is 7. So I'm starting to notice that frequency. So I'm going to talk about that on my channel in the future if you guys are interested. We have here as well as we have the King of Swords in reverse, which tells me that the political system is going to fall. This is what it means. It's the fall of the new old world order. We have here as well as we have the night cups. We're telling me that this is the vaccine. This is whatever this is. This is what this is. It's in that cup, right? It's walking with this cup. So it might be an emotional thing. I remember your nervous system. What is your nervous system, right? If you were to take the nervous system, cut off my appendages, or just put my body, I will literally have the chakras, right? But if you were to just cut my body out and leave my arm, the arm will be useless because it cannot survive. It does not have the spine, which is why the nervous system is the best way to kill somebody. Now, you probably shouldn't do that, just so you know. But it's the spiritual concept of that. It's if you really want to cut somebody off from going through this awakening, you cut it through the nerves. So there's that. We have here the King of Pentacles here. So it does feel like this is all nature. If you really want to know and how to protect yourself, a lot of nature has the ingredients to help fight this. It's almost like God made, remember, if there's good and there's bad, there's always an equilibrium, which means that if there's a virus, there's always a cure. Always. But sometimes there's not a cure because there are those in power who want to prevent people from having to receive those cures. So we have the Queen of Cups here, and her sitting down. So I do feel like this is talking about the ascension for women. It's capping their emotions. I do feel like it's all about emotional thing. I feel like the emotional component. So what is one chakra that's all about the emotion, and that is the sacral, right? The sacral chakra with the orange color. It's all about your emotions, how you feel. If you feel like crap on it every day, you will receive crap. But if you feel like you are the best human being ever, you will feel like the best human being. I just saw 4848. We have the Five of Wands here in reverse. And so what it's telling me is that you guys need to stop fighting with people. Stop fighting. Like, seriously, I've been reading a lot of your comments. You're talking about Trump. You're trashing him. You're trashing other people. If you want to really extend, stop being negative. Start saying better things. Just refer to them out of respect. Say former President Donald Trump. Don't say, on chicken, stuff like that. Even though, yes, I will admit it on here that I did say those things. But we need to stop, because the more we keep doing it, the less likely we are going to extend, because we're putting negative energy out there that doesn't need to be there. Instead, put positive energy, put respect. If you want to kill somebody, kill them with kindness. We have here as well, we have the Five of Cups here. We have here that, yes, we have 3 pandemics. We have 3 waves, right? But we have 2 more to come. So there are going to be 2 more big historical events in the U.S. that's going to come very soon, within the next 5 months or 5 years. Could be something like that. Because remember, we're on Pluto return, which means things are going to get more crazier, just so you know that. And we have here death. It could be the death of the king. It could be a religion. Could be the queen. The death of a queen. It could be Joe Biden. Could be not our president. Could be another world's leader. But there is a death here that's coming, and that's going to be the sign that the time has come for the higher realms of consciousness. Have you guys ever been thinking about why all of a sudden all these big jobs and all these people are not going back to work? People my age not going to minimum wage jobs, because we want to be treated with respect, and we want to go back to a job that actually pays us. When I was kicked out of the house, I only had a minimum wage job, but they weren't even able to make me enough money to be able to get my own place, to actually survive, put food on the table, have health care, get a car, stuff like that. I only got paid $12.75 an hour, and I at top only worked 38 hours a week, because they wouldn't let me work any more than that. But another job would not hire me because I wouldn't be able to drive there. So necessarily, you screwed yourself out. So the reason why I mention this is that if you have noticed lately, the vibration level of Earth is rising. People are not going to work, especially in places where they manipulated and abuse their own workers. All these companies say, oh, we cannot afford $15 minimum wage, but yet they come out like McDonald's raising the minimum wage to $18 an hour because people were protesting from not going to work. You see, the world that we live in, we need to get up to our standards, and that you guys need to move on with the times, because The only way that we're going to reach this full extension process is that we need to be able to help humanity. We need healthcare. We need all these things because the U.S. is the only country in the world, at least in terms of developed country, that does not have any equalities, right? That's why we're here. Me and you right now, we're here in this country because we're supposed to make it better. So start doing things to make it better. Start talking positively. Just say former Donald Trump. To refer to him as that. Don't refer to him as anything else but Donald Trump. Okay, let's be respectful of that. Let's be respectful of his kids. Let's be respectful of the people who are, within his fan base. Yeah, yes, they are crazy, and I do agree with you on that. But by saying they're crazy and mentioning all these things, you're further invading, and you're basically asking them to fight. Basically, you're telling them it's okay for them to go after you. You're telling them it's okay to want to stay distant. By causing that divide between you and that individual, you're always going to have the divide if you're going to keep saying mean things about the other person. If you really want to bridge the gap, you need to be the first one to make the move. So start being nice. I will not tolerate any of that hateful energy or hateful speech on the channel at all. So I just want to put that out there now. So I'm going to end this video because I'm now realizing I'm going on a rant. So I'm going to end it. But I hope you guys do agree with me. Let me know in the comment section below. This is kind of like not what I expected for a reading. I expected more detail. But I assume it might be confidential information, which is why my guys didn't really give me much. Seven constant 7 opportunities to return to the creation and perfection when after fall from grace. Oh, there's 7 consonants? Wait, hold on. Let's see. Let's do the actual thing now. North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia. Did I miss anything? No, okay. So we had those. We had the 7. Yeah, so there's best. Oh, no, there's 8. Because there's Antarctica. Yeah, there's 8, but yeah. The fall from grace, I will talk about that, and I will be talking about the Great Flood and the how Earth actually had many Adam and Eve, which will be very interesting about it. We'll be talking about like how I realized in my own like intuition with download information that we actually had so many of these repeats, and that God wants to keep giving us the chance. Nation wants to give us the chance to fix ourselves. And the way we fix ourselves, we learn from our past mistakes. So even though we didn't learn from the last time, we're all going to learn again. It does feel like that is what's end up happening. There are 7 notes in a musical scale and 7 chakras and 7 days a week. I did not realize any of that. I didn't really piece that together. I just know there's going to be copies of 7 times, right? We have 7 chakras, right? We have the 7 dimensions of Earth. Right now we're in the 3D, which means that twice Earth had a flood. Oh my God, I apologize. Oh my God, that was just accidentally happened. So we had here the first one. We had the Great Flood. Then we also had the dinosaurs, right? The asteroid. That's what I mean, right? We had the 2 different things that wiped out humanity. But remember, a lot of people say, oh, will humans ever walk the same time dinosaurs do? Yes, we will. And I'll explain that in another video. So I'm going to leave you off on that note. All right. I love you guys and have a very beautiful night. This was a lot longer than I anticipated. So I love you and see you guys tomorrow. Bye.